So welcome to day 17. 20 minutes again. This is it now, 20 minutes for the remaining time. If you wanted to, there's always that option. If you're hungry for more, maybe start another meditation session later in the day. If you wanted to, you could do the same thing, start at a minute, 2 minutes the next day, and before you know, then you'd have caught up and you'd have 2 20-minute sessions in the day. And that's the TM recommended amount of time. Dr. Herbert Benson, relaxation response, just minimum 10 minutes once a day. TM up to 2 20-minute sessions a day, or more if you're really keen. So I'm going to carry on. I want to share a little more of what I was sharing yesterday about the two parts of the brain, the limbic system back here, the more primitive brain, and the prefrontal cortex, and how with a strengthened prefrontal cortex, it can supervise the limbic system and encourage it to desire the things that are long-term healthy for us. And it's never really going to feel like that. What it will feel like is we just become aware, that this isn't as healthy as this, and now I desire this. This is healthier for me. So they did this really interesting study, I believe in the 60s at Stanford University, in their kindergarten, their preschool area there. You might have heard of it. It's called the marshmallow test, or that's what it's become known as these days. They took these young children, preschool children, and sat them down in a room on their own, and maybe rather meanly, they put a little plate in front of them, and it just had a single marshmallow sat on the plate. And they said to the child, if you if you don't eat that, when I come back, you can have two. But it's up to you. The choice is yours. So being preschool, 4 years old, of course, as soon as the people went out the room, most of them just devoured it. But interestingly, some of them didn't. They were able to what they call delay gratification. And so certain number of the participants were able to, certain number of the children were able to delay the gratification, and they get their second marshmallow. And sometimes it was up to 20 minutes, which, for a young child to be left alone in the room for 20 minutes with this marshmallow teasing them constantly in front of them. Some of them were able to delay and not take that marshmallow and get the other one when the time came. So what happened was they also studied these people over their lives. They continued to study these young children as they grew up, and they had a look at what effect that delaying gratification at a young age had. And it was tremendous. I had to make a list because there are so many positive benefits. I'll have to motor through them if I'm going to get them all, but let me pick out some of the more let me just see what I come across. So better grades at all levels of schooling for those that were able to delay that gratification, higher incomes, lower BMI, so less chance of being overweight and therefore experiencing better health. The people who were able to delay showed greater resilience, greater intelligence, better cognitive function, more confidence, greater ability to trust one's own judgment, to resist temptation, more easily pursuing long-term goals. Just anything you could think of that a quality we'd like, they were exhibiting that. But then most of us consider, and this was done by another study, most of us consider our own our lack of willpower as our greatest failing. They studied 1 million people, and pretty much everybody universally said this would be, if I had a failing, this would be it. Well, it just so happens that those children, when they got to about 50, somewhere in that region, they brain scanned them, and they found that exactly as you'd expect, their prefrontal cortex had more activity and their limbic system had less activity, and vice versa. The children that weren't able to and weren't able to resist that temptation and didn't experience all those benefits, they had it the other way around, more activity in the limbic system, less in the prefrontal cortex. So yeah, just a little more motivation or a little more encouragement for you. Meditation does that for us, calms the limbic system, activates, brings more onto line the prefrontal cortex, and gives us all of those qualities, whatever our age. Remember the neuroplasticity, the brain can change at any age, it doesn't matter. I found that quite inspiring when I heard that, so I thought I'd share that. So let us come to meditate. Let's get our prefrontal cortexes more online and our limbic systems calmed. So we turn the attention inwards. We let the body relax, some deeper breaths. And then start to bring the attention through the body. So today you're going to run through your own body scan. And of course you can skip this if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend skipping it. Dr. Herbert Benson includes it for a reason. He found that the benefits were so much greater by having this primary body scan. And let's say we're somewhere about halfway now. So we're somewhere around the pelvis, around the belly button. And we're probably up into the upper rib cage at some point here. And we've been down both arms. We're coming up to the tops of the shoulders and the neck now. And then when we get to the top of the head, sometime around about now, we release the awareness back down through the body, feeling through everything again. And then we gently begin our mantra meditation in our own time. So you can pick up your mantra when you're ready. And then silently repeat it over and over. Keep coming back to the mantra, regardless of what happens. And I'll officially start our timing now. Okay, 20 minutes. Again, sitting, observing for as long as you like, witnessing through the body, watching with curiosity, mind, emotions, sensations in the body. Stay with this practice for as long as you like, and ideally till you feel settled for anything that might have arisen. Move on to the imagination, imagining that event, that situation, that emotional inner experience that you want to be having. Or maybe it's imagining having an entirely peaceful mind. Whatever it happens to be, engaging as many senses as possible to experience it as though it were here now, happening here and now. And stay with this for as long as you like. And then when you feel settled, you're ready to come back, breathing a little deeper, moving the body a little, yawning and stretching. Gently opening the eyes. Well done. Limbic systems more settled, prefrontal cortex more strengthened.